Hello and welcome back to Path of Radiance 0% Growths. We are about to do Chapter 17. Before we start, we get to see that last chapter the MVP was Morim. We got a new ally, Devdan, who I did not do a unit analysis on, so I'm going to be doing that. And we apparently earned 25,000 gold for some reason. I'll be right back to do that unit analysis after I do some base stuff, so be right back. Okay, so, as mentioned, let's talk about Devdan, who is definitely not Danvet. Many people make this mistake, but they are not the same person. So, Devdan in a normal Gross playthrough is a pretty underwhelming unit at this point in the game. 13 speed is generally not doubling things too much. It doubles some things. I mean, Marsha doubles some things, and she has 12 speed right now, but, you know, not doubling a lot. And you know, most of your train units at this point in the game would have significantly more speed and overall just better stat lines. He doesn't even like compare favorably necessarily to Nefni if you do train her, although he does in some areas. But the speed is a big area where he's lacking. However, in 0% growths, his stat line is definitely much more competitive. 14 strength, 13 speed, and 11 defense are all like right around where Titania, Kieran, and Jill are, and a little bit better across the board than Marsha. 36 HP, 15 skill, and 10 res, maybe also 16 luck, are also just better than what any of those units have on offer. So while obviously he's not competing with Stefan or Muarim's stats, he definitely has like a very solid basis. The issue, of course, is that, you know, he still is a footlock unit without Canto or access to axes, and lower movement. And because his stats aren't like, they're comparable or maybe slightly better, yes, but they're not better enough than any of those other units to like really move the needle. I mean, on like a big route map like something like Clash, where, you know, the movement isn't like as big of a deal, like I could see deploying him over Marsha. But other than that, you know, in general, he's more of like a borderline deploy unit. Like, yeah, maybe if you've got an extra slot, you know, like he can do some work, but he's definitely not going to be like a core party member the way that Muarim and Stefan are, because their combat is just like so much better. But he is going to see the field at least a little bit in the upcoming chapter. Other stuff, Stefan is going to use those Ashera icons that I should have done last chapter. Tormod is going to use the Spirit Dust that we got to increase his healing output. I forged another steel axe for Jill, so we got forged steel weapons on Jill, Marsha, Titania, and Kieran at this point. And I promoted Makalov because I have a lot of BXP lying around. I don't really need to promote anyone else with it. And, you know, he's another paladin. Now he gets access to axes, blah, blah, blah. You know, his stat line, I think I talked about this when I reviewed him as a unit, but his stat line is like slightly better than Marsha's, which means he's usable. Definitely not like a world beater, but he does have a deployment slot to use in the coming chapter, so why not? And yeah, I think that pretty much covers it for base stuff. So moving right along. Trying to remember whether I got that occult scroll for Kieran or for Titania, whatever, last chapter or this chapter. Both of them have soul now in any case. Alright, so chapter 17 is a 4-part chapter. I'm going to be doing each of the parts as their own video, so this is just going to be part 1. And each of those 4 parts has a different objective. So this map is a route map with, fortunately, relatively few enemies. There are some reinforcements, but not a ton, and they come in slowly enough that we can, for the most part, avoid them. Then part 2, the maps are all actually connected. and you can see them all right off the bat. So like part 2, you come across this little thing here, and you go into this map, which is an arrive map, where the arrive tile is over here. So you kind of make your way this way, and then you come across here into part 3, which is a defend map for 10 turns. Then you come across here, and you come over here for this kill boss map, which you kind of come around here, and Oliver is over here. And at that point, you're kind of straight shot across from the starting map. So, you know, kind of moving in a loop. Other things to note about the 4-part nature of the chapter. You don't get to go back to the base in the middle. You don't get to undeploy any of the units that you have deployed. You don't get to mess with their items. You don't get to reposition them, which is something that's particularly notable for the subsequent chapters. And you do, however, get 2 reinforcements for each of the parts after this one. And the way that works is you select up to 2 units at the beginning of each of those parts, and then you can manage their items. You just can't manage your main squad's items. They show up on turn 3 of that part, and then they are deployed immediately on any subsequent parts. So that honestly isn't super impactful, but it can make a little bit of a difference, particularly if you like forgot something and you want to get it out of the convoy. Anyway, in terms of who we're deploying for this chapter, or this part of the chapter, Ike, Stefan, Moram, Kieran, Titania, Leith, Tormod, Marcia, Jill, Mordecai, and that's it. And so I guess without any further ado, we will open things up with Mordecai smiting Stefan so that he can come up and take this guy out. It's otherwise pretty difficult for us to reach. And then we're going to have Moram come up and take this other guy out. Hopefully not get poisoned. The goal here is a 3-turn clear, and Moram from this position can get into this bush next turn, which will pull these guys forward, which is pretty important because this guy is... If we don't pull this guy on turn 2, then it's pretty hard to kill him on turn 3. Next, we're going to have... Actually... Yeah, no, that'll work. Alright, so Leith is going to come over here. This guy. And then we're going to have Jill come up and finish him off. And then we're going to trade Jill a hand axe. She can counterattack the archer that is totally not going to attack her, but in case he does. Alright, now I want to check something. So Titania... let's see. Ideally, I want Titania to be the one to kill these mages on enemy phase of turn 3. We're gonna have to enemy phase them. This guy has 7 speed, so she easily doubles him. 6 defense, 25 HP, so she easily one round. Well, not easily, but she does one round him. This guy has 9 speed. Okay, so she does double him as well, because she has 14 speed, but she loses 1 speed with the hand axe. And... Actually, I think she doesn't one-round him, though. 19 attack. Yeah, she doesn't one-round him. Okay, so it's got to be Kieran, which is unfortunate, because Kieran is slightly less accurate. He's got 13 skill, he's got 12. He's also on bad biorhythm, although I don't know if that... I don't know how much that will change over the course of the battle, but that means we want Kieran further forward. Titania back here. Definitely unfortunate that we have to use Kieran. His chances to miss are higher, but hopefully he won't. Getting reliable 1 to 2 range and 0% gross in this game is really hard. Alright, so now the next thing we need to check is whether Kieran... One around this guy, he can, although his hit rate leaves something to be desired. And this guy, no. Okay, so we're gonna try with this guy and see what happens. Alright. Good enough. I'm just gonna leave him there, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 puts him in range of that mage, which is what we need him to do next turn. Move Lath up, trade him a hand axe so you can counterattack that sniper. Should have done this first, in theory, so that he wasn't in Kieran's way, but whatever. And we're gonna have Tormod heal Morim. Send Morim on his way. Titania. One around this guy. And then Jill is gonna take this guy out and then box out that fighter over there on the left. Mostly so he doesn't go after Tormod. Alright, Mordecai. Doesn't have anything else that he needs to do this chapter. Didn't bother to check, but normally Mordecai is capable of doubling that sniper, but not the halberdier. But sometimes it's actually the other way around. I said Mordecai, I meant Morim. God damn it. Oh, doubles. Nice, okay. Works for me. Alright, so we get the first set of reinforcements there. Just make sure that Stefan is in range to enemy phase them. Here, though. Okay, so let's check and see. Alright, we are doubling. That's great. Titania, or sorry, not Titania. Kieran. Has to come up here. Have him try to take this guy out while he's at it. Succeed. So his biorhythm's still bad. That 82 hit is not looking hot. Our odds of taking both of these guys out are pretty crap, but we're gonna try. Hopefully it'll work out. Gotta heal in with Tormod. Definitely not the most reliable clear, although it is subject to enemy variance, because sometimes Titania can one-round both of them, and that definitely helps. Let's see if Lath can take this guy out now. Yep. Alright, at this point, I think all we gotta do is move Mordecai out of the way. And we are good to go. I guess we can put Titania over here. That'll put her in range of the mage that she can kill, who probably won't attack her, but... maybe he will. Come on, Kieran. Ugh. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Believe in you. Ow. That's fine. Just hit him. Hit him. Yes! Let's go. Alright, and that should be it for this chapter. He was probably swinging with like a less than 60% chance against one of those mages. But, there you have it. 3 turns to clear Chapter 17, Part 1. So thanks for watching, and I will see you again for Part 2. Until then.